And we are live, ladies and gentlemen.
You.
Watchers Podcast, WATCHERZ,
Hardy heart.
episode 57.
57.
I'm Tavon, Tri-State_tip on Instagram.
Tiger Helly 19 on Snapchats, Jeezys. Facebook by way of the government, Jason Williams. Follow the stripes.
Smitty Green Giant on Instagram.
Formerly known as the Damaging.
Yeah, formerly known as the Damaging. I may be changing my handle name again too.
To formerly known as the Damaging. That would be a dope handle name.
I was actually considering that. It may be that or maybe something else, man.
I mean, Prince had a sign for a name for years.
Yeah, I do. I'm thinking about getting to the sign too.
What do you guys want to start with this week?
All right. First of all, how was y'all week though?
Another weekend, another week gone. Just counting the days till Christmas now.
I'll be glad when Christmas is over with. Everybody I know is older now, so gift card city.
I love gift cards. I'm very easy. Cash is king. Gift cards are dope.
Yeah, they are.
I'm easy to shop for.
What you looking for this summer?
And if it's not that,
Christmas, not that. So.
car parts and sneakers.
That'll work.
Yeah, they eat up a lot of my budget.
Okay. I was just looking for more action figures.
It's a lot of Cincinnati Bengals gear sitting in my Fanatics cart right now.
Just didn't have the courage to hit send yet.
If anybody's listening. And you want to get your local Tiger a gift.
What do you guys want to start with?
It was a big week for a certain reptile.
You know what? I'd rather leave that till the end.
You want to leave it to the end?
So let's go with sports.
All right.
I'm gonna just use this time to gloat. You know, I don't usually like to gloat, especially with football, because it's any given Sunday, and you know your team could play great one weekend and play bad the next.
I hate football.
With that being said, there was a particular NFC Championship game that I did not fancy too much. And I said, I can't wait till we see y'all again next season. And that day is today, ladies and gentlemen. And I just wanted to be known. The San Francisco 49ers came into Philadelphia and
a beatdown was delivered today.
yeah.
Smack the shit out of him.
So that was a revenge game on our end. I don't know how y'all was taking it, but we definitely had to show out for what happened in the NFC Championship. So.
It was a one-sided ass beating. I will give it to y'all 49ers fans because some of y'all giving me shit right now.
And you know what?
But
a lot of the 49ers fans I know do not talk shit.
I know, but they give
But
me.
it's something about the NFC East. The whole NFC East, with the exception of Washington's team, whatever you want to call them, y'all just y'all get a couple wins, and it don't matter if it's the Cowboys, the Eagles, everybody start talking like, yeah, we going to the Super Bowl, and it's every year. It ain't even 1 year. It's never not 1 year. I've never seen somebody from the NFC East talking like they about to go to the Super Bowl week 6.
Well, just given the Eagles' track record, they've either been to the conference finals or Super Bowl. So I'm kind of liking it where we were at. But today was just not today. It was just,
and I'm not saying y'all a bad team. Y'all definitely not a bad team.
We got beat on. I mean, I'm talking about we got beat on. This is. If you describe this beating, this is Suge Knight beating up the dude in the Vegas footage type beating today. It was that bad.
Yeah, y'all was Wale hanging with the
Man, that was Suge Knight hanging.
nah, that was Diddy hanging Wale.
Take that.
Look, Diddy hanging Wale.
Take that.
Suge Knight hanging Vanilla Ice. Both of them.
It was take that.
Didn't y'all score? Was it 7 8 consecutive touchdowns.
They scored every possession that they had. If I'm not mistaken.
Y'all had 42. That was 8 touchdowns. Yeah, because they showed it when the record was beat, and I think you guys were at 5 touchdowns at that point. And I think it said that was the first time that's been done since, I want to say, 2012 versus the Bills. Yeah. I think the stat was.
Man, they kicked our ass today. It's no way of like sugarcoating this shit.
Again, I'm not the one to brag, and it was just something that rubbed us the wrong way last season.
Well, give your Niners a round of applause. I mean, they did what they were supposed to hit done. They
wrong button. I can't remember which one. Maybe it was this one.
There you go.
They don't label all these buttons. They're all the same.
Oh, shit.
But yes, one time for 49ers, ladies and gentlemen. But either way, anything else big in sports? Describe to me the NCAA situation.
If I'm not mistaken, Florida went undefeated, right? Florida State went undefeated, and they were left out of the college playoffs. And Alabama got in, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
But the whole thing with me, I think it should be at least 6 teams.
It should be.
It needs to be 6 teams.
1 and 2 can get a bye. And then let 3 through 6
go at it.
So what is only 4?
Yeah, it's 4 teams right now, but okay. it needs to be expanded to 6.
And the problem is, and I don't even want to say it because I hate Florida State. I'm all about the U, Miami Hurricanes fan. So it's hard for me to, side with Florida State, but they are getting hosed because they went undefeated. They were already number 4. It wasn't like, we're trying to come from number 5 or number 6 into the top 4. You were already number 4. And I think they went ahead and leapfrogged Alabama. I don't even know what they were before this week because
I forgot what it was.
Oregon was number 5, I want to say. 5 or 6, because I was looking for Oregon. That's my other team after the Hurricanes. I wanted Oregon to beat Washington on Friday night, which they didn't. But it was a close game. It was a good game, but they didn't make it. So
I just feel bad for them kids, man.
They leapfrogged Alabama over Florida State, even though Alabama has 1 loss and Florida State is undefeated.
Gotcha.
I just feel bad for them kids from Florida, though. They did what they were supposed to. Yeah, Florida State. I'm sorry. I mean, Gators.
Florida
Gators, Florida Seminoles. It's Florida, damn it.
Yeah.
But I just feel my heart is for them kids, though, honestly, because they're the ones that did everything that they were supposed to do, and then they just get screwed over like this. So but hopefully they at least get a 16 things out of it.
Did you say they went undefeated?
Yeah.
Florida State's undefeated.
Damn.
And they got totally bypassed by Alabama. And Alabama lost, what was it, 1 or 2 games?
1 game.
1 game.
Okay. But they lost,
and that's where the whole friction is coming in from.
My thing is, how do you leapfrog them?
And they did
a team that didn't lose, and they were already number 4. Like the top, Georgia lost this week.
Yeah.
Because it was Georgia was number 1, Michigan number 2.
I don't even think Michigan even should be even in it just because of all that shit that's going on with them.
Well, they undefeated. So.
I know, but it's just general principle. I mean, you got a whole investigation going on with that school right now. Washington
was number 3 or number 4. And then Florida. Yeah, so Washington was number 3 or number 4. I think number 3. And then Florida State was number 4. So I know Oregon was either number 5 or number 6. So at best, Alabama was number 5.
Possibly a minimum of that.
But what should have happened was everybody shifted up. But that's how when you're in the SEC, you know how they get.
Yeah, they favors, if you want to say that. But they really, really need at least 6 teams in this college playoffs because that was kind of ridiculous, man. Again, my heart is for them kids, though, man, because they did everything right. and still got screwed over in this, man. But
Yeah. Well, hopefully,
But the Miami
that's something that's brought up and can be addressed
the Miami Hurricane
upcoming seasons.
Oh, fuck Florida State.
Anything else sports while we're on there?
Wasn't
we got the basketball
LeBron and what's his name about to get into it? What's his name? Doku?
King Kong Doku.
Yeah, I don't know what that was about. I heard some potential
Trash talk.
audio or I don't want to call it lyrics, but
Bars.
potential subtitles of what was said.
Called him soft.
Yeah, it was basically along those lines, and LeBron was saying, use your choice of words, better than what you're saying.
Nah, he meant every word of that, man.
And it sounded like Udoka doubled down on what he said, and the refs was like, "Yeah, you gotta go, my guy."
He said Charmin soft.
Nah, he said he snuggle bear soft.
But yeah, we got the play-in tournament coming to a conclusion soon. I can't remember the date that was supposed to go down. I think it's in the next week or so.
I think it's the 7th, if I'm not mistaken.
Right, yeah. So pretty soon that's supposed to be coming to an end.
Yeah, they got Stephen A. and Michael Wilbon going to be
joining the TNT class.
That is going
crowd,
to be a riot.
Yeah, should be good to see. Should be good to see.
That is going to be must see.
I don't like those stadiums though. They gotta change that shit.
It's ugly as
everybody's floor is terrible.
I've had some people say that when they seen the floor when they're playing that sit up in a higher level, it's like ants. You can't really see.
I don't know if they did a test run where they saw it on the cameras, or somebody just came up with general designs on like some PowerPoint or whatever type of presentation. Mm-hmm. Said this is what it looks like, and everybody's okay. But when it looks on TV, it looks terrible.
It's
hard to look.
It's hard. It's hard on the eye, especially when you're really trying to play a game or watch the game.
But yeah, the stadiums are terrible. I get the design about making it look like that trophy or something, but I think they could have used better color schemes, just design in general. Even if you just kept the middle part, the logo of the trophy or whatever, the paint areas, changing them looks terrible. The color schemes look terrible, and it's
I don't like it at all.
Yeah,
I don't. I like the hardwood. They could have did something else.
Thoughts on the tournament in general?
I think it's confusing.
It is. It is. Nobody really understands.
Even the players, because they're like, I applaud them. I should say this. I applaud them for trying to do something different to get the viewers to watch the game. I applaud that, but it's a confusing thing. So it's like they're 8-0, well, like 8-4, and then they're like 2 whatever during the in season, and it's confusing. It's like throwing me off. I'm like, okay,
yeah. When they originally announced this, I thought this was more of okay, we're gonna cut out half of like a part of the season, and we're gonna dedicate it to just a tournament style playing, right? But when they went and kind of announced it, and now that we're going through it, making certain days playing games and the other games are regular season games, it does.
It's hard.
Yeah,
I'm just used to a 72 game season straight.
That too, but if they want to do a tournament, I almost wish
82.
Just make it 82. Just make it a straight tournament then and there. Like, let us go through all the tournament, stop the tournament, resume the season. Don't intertwine it. Keep going back and forth. Regular season tournament. I think that's what might be taken away from it. I think it would just been a lot more interest, at least to me. You get to see, okay, this week is NBA playing tournament week. Whoever win this week, blah, 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 goes on to the next round for the next weekend, next month or whatever, and they're going to be playing in Vegas. And then it's easier to keep up with.
They got to make some significant amount of changes on this stuff. Because, like I said, for the viewer like me, and we all watch ball. And I'm like, who's what right now. I don't.
I'll give them credit. They've been like trying to explain it the best they can, and they put up the brackets, not the brackets, but the leaderboards and stuff like that. Part of it though is they have a point differential thing going on, so you have to have like a certain amount of points. So Celtics blew out somebody. Was it the Raptors or somebody recently? And the coach had to go over to him like, yeah, I'm sorry, but we got to run the score up. Like they still got everybody playing in the last 2 minutes because they got to win by 30.
Yep.
They got to get 30 points.
Yeah.
And so they trying to run the score up. They fouling, they center on defense. The other team center on defense to get the ball back. But
it's confusing. They're going to have to make some significant amount of changes with this because it's confusing. And I'm a big basketball aficionado, but
yeah,
I can't even tell what's what right now. So
yeah. All right.
I thought it was dumb from the beginning.
Yeah, you were saying that.
Just give me a straight season. I don't need like a mini tournament. I get annoyed with the college. What's the one invitational tournament?
From where?
The college when you're not in the playoffs is the tournament that nobody really gives a NIT. We don't really give a shit tournament. That annoys me. Let alone having
the Here Man Damn.
Yeah.
the
Here Man Damn
tournament.
Yeah, the NIT. Yeah. I never even liked that tournament. So like what do you need a tournament? Like what do you tell your players? Hey guys, it's a tournament game tonight, so we're gonna play different than we usually do. I don't know. It's stupid to me. Yeah. But I don't watch NBA till after the All-Star break anyway, so yeah.
Yeah. I can see some things needing to be tweaked.
The whole thing. Really.
Yeah. They throw it away.
No, this is just because the players didn't want to play.
Well, it was twofold. They wanted to keep players, like especially all stars or whatever you want to call them, star caliber players. They don't want people sitting out, which is they already made that rule, and they also want to keep people engaged in the dog days of the season where nobody really cares because football's kind of getting toward their the heat of their moments. This time of year.
It's football dominated.
It's too much. I mean, it's football and hockey's on. Like, come on.
Now, off subject. Y'all think the NBA should shorten the season?
No. I think keeping the way it is fine. That's the way it's been going, and we've been doing it for however long now.
Because it seemed like to me the NBA really picks up around like the summertime.
Well, no. That's when they're ended. But it's after the All-Star break. After All-Star break. But that's just the nature of the sports seasons and how everything lines up. You know, you go from football to basketball, and basketball ends to you go to whatever the summer. What's that? When baseball pick back up?
Not even because when basketball starts, baseball still. All sports are being played. Baseball, they're on their tail end, finishing up. They're in the playoffs. Hockey's starting up. Football's on. So like. It don't matter what they try to do. Like you can have all the tournaments you want. Yeah, it's just physically so much football, so much sports going on.
Yeah.
That just suck it up till just suck it up till the All-Star break. The All-Star break in February be here before you know it. Relax, chill.
Yeah, and honestly, I think people who are basketball fans, like I got NBA League Pass, but I got it a part of a promotion package. But I watch certain games that I care about throughout the seasons. I don't just wait until like the after whatever a certain date or whatever. I'm usually all NBA season keeping up with something, right? And people like that I feel are going to be doing that, but there are fans who care about basketball when it matters, not when again November, December. They don't care. I don't want to say don't care about it. They might watch highlights. They might keep up with the scores in the standings, but they don't care to watch.
Yeah, I don't watch game
the 2 or 3 hours of basketball. Right. When they got other stuff to watch or things to do.
Like I'll watch the Christmas games.
Right.
And then after that is, because nobody's like, yo, cut off Monday Night Football and throw that tournament game on.
Yeah.
Nobody's saying
Exactly.
Nobody is.
Now,
Unless
if
it's a real big game.
if they raise the stakes out of a tournament and get the here it is, maybe I'm completely missing it. Tournament team automatically gets a payoff berth. Tournament winner.
We talked about that before. I don't like it.
No,
I think it would be good though.
everybody will watch.
Because it'd be a shitty team that could possibly win the whole
Everybody will watch.
thing. You'd mess it up.
And then it's just gonna be.
I like it.
Then it's just gonna be TCU in the college football championship last year.
It makes the tournament. It makes the tournament must watch.
They still ain't cutting that football game off. They ain't cutting that shit off.
Maybe.
I would like.
He might.
Could you see like an NBA team being like a George Mason coming in there and just like doing it? I would like to see it. It would shake it up a little bit.
I think just for a couple $100,000 when they already making a lot, it ain't really significant incentive.
They're like, oh, we'll just pay your bar tab for last week.
He said, pay your bar.
But
just give me regular basketball season, David Stern. I just need regular basketball season.
all right, let's transition out of sports. Movie news. You want to go there? Movies.
We can.
I was gonna go last with Godzilla though.
Okay.
All
All right. Well, then, really,
some
wrestling.
Wrestling.
Yeah. I want to go with wrestling. CM Punk,
Let's talk about Randy Orton first.
Randy Orton.
Randy Orton's back.
We talked about him last week. We talked about his return. He showed up on Raw and
He
SmackDown.
looks in good ass shape too.
Yeah.
Real good shape.
Great shape.
Real good shape.
He's going to. Is he going to be in the Royal Rumble?
I guess he's fighting Roman at the Rumble. That's
Oh yeah, he's going to be on SmackDown. He signed a SmackDown contract or whatever they call it on Friday night.
Yep.
Which is smart because I'm hearing that Punk's going to be a Raw. So
Yeah, and honestly, two things I got to say about that. I feel Raw's is more star dominant at the moment. Maybe I'm wrong, but I do feel like Raw has a lot of the different personalities that can make storylines, where SmackDown has like two main guys that are up there, but outside of that, it's not must know.
I feel like that's why they put Randy.
So you gotta help try to even that out for one, and then for
it seemed like them girls on the SmackDown is one really running it right now. Though I think it's their show, to be honest.
Yeah, I can see that. And for two, I feel like it's been so much bleed over between the brands this year.
It don't even matter.
It don't even really matter to me no more. I feel like people that's been on SmackDown, been on Raw. People that's been on Raw, been on SmackDown.
That's because that roster is so thin right now.
It's kind of been shifting a little bit. Now I think CM Punk's supposed to show up on SmackDown one of these weeks. So
SmackDown this week.
This week, okay.
Oh.
They're doing supposedly one-offs, but who knows what?
Because they were technically supposed to be free agents, which I guess they're choosing where they're going to be.
Yeah.
Which I mean, to me, it makes sense putting Orton over, because I said last thing you want to do is have Punk and Roman Reigns on the same show.
Correct.
I mean, going to what I think they're going to end up going to.
Yeah.
You got to keep them apart as long as you can.
You got to make them look strong.
Plus, not to mention, the heat's going to be with the obvious story with him and Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
That's going to be a massive feud.
Whom I still don't know who or what he's trying to be, but that's another story. But
I think it's good for him. I mean, because if you really look at it, Rollins has been in some good matches with some questionable feuding. This one's going to be the one that's really probably going to get him talking a lot more now. You're going to find out more from him on this microphone now, more so than what we've been hearing. So,
well, let's get back to Randy Orton real quick. Looks like he's not down with the bloodline feud, and that's where they're going to. And I'm okay with that. I like I said last week, I don't see him competing for any championships in the near future, but more in the lines of progressing stories and probably helping some of the younger people get over, which I think he can do for Dominic, Rhea, and them. But they're on I guess they're Raw. What are they?
You're wrong.
I don't know what they are now.
The Judgment Day. They're wrong.
Judgment. Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm okay with him going back into the Bloodline feud because you kind of have to have somebody feuding with them, and it looks like
Well,
is by itself.
if I'm not mistaken,
over SmackDown. Nobody
if I'm
else
not
over there with him.
mistaken, that was his feud that was going to happen before his back got all messed up. So that's what there was supposed to be. That was supposed to be the match that was going to happen a couple years ago, about a year and a half ago. But
And I think he's going to end up challenging Roman for the.
He's not going to win it though.
Oh no, he's not.
Yeah,
I'm still trying to figure out how they bridge Cody over to SmackDown because he's on Raw, and how do you get him back into
that conversation,
that
storyline.
title,
Yeah,
that
That
title
may
picture because he
It
already
has
won it. He won it last year, Rumble, right? Who won the Rumble last year?
it was Cody.
Oh yeah, Cody. So we're gonna have him win it again this year.
they got.
That's a good question.
They got-
It's definitely a good question.
I think.
Go ahead.
I think how they're going to solve this is that Elimination Chamber, because you figure you got that in February, and then I guess they want Walter to win. Well, shit, not Walter, Gunther.
I know, but then you still like gotta bring Cody over, so like because it'll be weird for Cody to just come out and challenge for the title that's not on the show that he didn't win last year.
So whatever it is, they're doing holdover storylines right now. Shinsuke versus Cody, which I'm not honest. I'm not feeling it.
But watch the match be good. Though.
It probably will be a decent match, but to me, looking at that storyline and trying to make it believable, he's been saying, "Where are you? I'm waiting on you." And I'm talking about Shinsuke for the past how many weeks? He's been right there. It didn't make sense. It didn't make sense for it to be. I felt like they audibled at the last second.
I thought he was calling Punk out though.
Everybody thought he was calling Punk out. They've been making references to Punk week by week. He did his move in one of the matches.
He did it in a post match.
And it would have made sense to say, "Where are you?" for somebody who hasn't been there, right? Not for somebody that's been there week on week. You could have got him at any point.
Cody gonna be like, I was in my locker room the whole time.
You could have got him at any point.
If you just knocked on the door, I'd have opened
it
the
didn't
door.
make sense.
Right.
And yeah, the match may be very well, sure. It's just, for one, I like Shinsuke, and I feel like this is about to be another loss. And it would have been a loss to CM Punk as well, but I'd rather lose to a return with somebody that you're going to help put over, because, his next match is going to either be Rollins or one of them belts.
Right.
And let it be a great feud. And then let that momentum carry him into whatever championship match he goes against, which we're all assuming is Rollins at the moment.
Now, this Rollins thing, you don't know who's going to win it.
What we don't need, okay, I'm assuming he just didn't have enough for Cody right now. We need to do something with you until we get you in WrestleMania. So
A filler feud.
we just gonna have this guy keep jumping you week by week. Y'all gonna have a match in one of these pay-per-views, and then we'll call it a day. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I didn't agree with that decision. But yes, here we are, CM Punk's first debut. Thoughts on non-pay-per-view, non-PLE event on cable television, Monday Night Raw.
First promo back on Monday Night Raw
Since
in almost 10 years.
2014. So,
Yep.
thoughts on his return?
I mean, this is one of them things where you just gonna have to watch and see what's going to happen, because next, I mean, they're still in the honeymoon phase right now. So
I think it was bad placement of his promo on Monday. You should have either had him open the show, or you put him at the front of one of those.
I kind of see why they
the-
did put him on late. They wanted,
But
because I think what they were trying to do is they wanted to hold that show.
you
'cause
killing your ratings. So I already,
Yes.
Yeah.
I listened to Corny. They already had the ratings. The problem is you have a 3-hour show.
Yeah.
And you're holding people over. Not to mention, it didn't help that Raw wasn't that great.
It was not.
Raw was not great.
And I was gonna get to that. And go ahead, finish your point. I'm not gonna cut you off.
So I would have either, because he pretty much ended Survivor Series. So Monday night, I either start with Punk in that very first segment, or at the top of one of those hours, either top of the 9 o'clock hour or even the top of the 10 o'clock hour. Boom. That holding them all the way to the end. And then I felt like they didn't even give him that much time. I think they timed it out. He came out, his music hit at 10:52, and they didn't do a run over. They cut off, and we're done by 11. So you got to think, you're giving his intro and all that stuff a minute and a half. So he really literally had maybe 6 minutes to talk. And this is a man that's been gone for 10 years. Yeah, but it doesn't help your ratings, though, which it did. Like, the numbers came out. Those numbers dipped as the show went on. And a lot of that is because it's 3 hours.
Yeah.
And you're expecting people to wait till almost 11 o'clock. Like, I get what they were trying to do. Oh, we're going to hold the people over because they're going to want to hear Punk. But the problem is some people tuned out. And nowadays, some people are like, man, you know what? I'm getting tired. I'm going to bed. I'll look at it online.
What I think they did was, in my opinion, I think they was just trying to, like, strike the iron while it was hot. And I don't blame them for it, because they were basically saying, well, you got the hottest guy they got the guy that everybody wants here. We're going to put him on a time that we want. And I think the fact that they was like, they built this like, oh, we're going to commercial free. And they were basically trying to make the show exciting, or just make people anticipate it was going to be a good show. Should he be? I think he should have been on in the beginning. Yes. But I'm looking at their logic on why they did what they did as well too. Well, I mean, it didn't work. It didn't pan out. I mean, at the end of the day, the man is back there and he's got a lot of time that he's going to say what he got to say.
I mean, yeah, but it just felt rushed to me. It felt
he will be
felt rushed.
So, yeah, my thoughts ending that show felt a little underwhelmed.
Like, even if it were I would have even been all right if it were like SmackDown and it's only a 2-hour show. All right, we're gonna put them on last. It's a lot to ask for people to stay all the way to that.
Yeah,
twilight of a 3-hour show.
And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, watching Raw, and again, I don't consistently watch until there's something I care about.
Yeah,
and I try to keep up with a storyline. That's the reason that I'll turn or whatever. Yeah, I'll agree. It wasn't the greatest Raw. And part of me made me like, damn, I kind of wish missed the wrestling from AEW right now. Because these matches not really doing it for me. And I'm trying to remember, really the only matches I remember is the big guys wrestling.
Yeah, Bronson Reed and
yeah, and they went out. They went out.
Yeah, that was a good one though.
Had a couple botchamania spots, but yeah.
Yeah.
There's two big men.
They big guys.
Two big men slapping meat.
Meat slapping.
And I'm trying to remember some of the other matches, but they weren't.
Then they had Orton. He was wrestling his first match.
But I watched the Orton match because that was all like the last 30 minutes, right? Mm-hmm. And I knew to turn back or pay attention at 10:30 and later. Mm-hmm. Before that, about 9 to 10:30,
you cash out.
I was out of there.
Because like even Orton's match when it started, I'm like, damn, they gonna have time to even go to Punk?
Right.
Well, they kind of shot themselves in the foot on this. They had two massive returns that could have easily did their own thing.
And I get it. I definitely get it. And
so they were They were pretty much in a no-win situation on that.
I will say the return that CM Punk had in AEW, I felt was better.
Mm-hmm. Well, you got to figure that was his first time
return
touching the ring.
Talk, his return speech to the ring, and AEW, I believe, started the show with him coming out. I believe that's how he.
But you gotta remember,
he started it.
His return to AEW, they damn near gave him that whole segment almost a half hour.
Yeah.
Versus this one, like I think it was a time issue. I feel like he had a lot more to say, a promo he could have cut, and when you're giving a man 6 minutes, 6 minutes
and maybe
goes
that
fast
is,
when you're talking.
And for sure, maybe that is. But I just felt it was more energetic when he returned in AEW. it was less, I don't want to say censored, but it was less filtered. I felt of a return, and what he had to say, I felt like he probably had to run by what he was going to say to somebody at WWE, and he had to give it the okay before he did it. But I felt like the AEW one, they just said, just do your thing. And it could be just he had a lot of time to go what he wanted to talk about. And especially for somebody that was returning to wrestling in general, not just to a company, just in wrestling in general, I'm sure there was a lot more emotion involved during that period. But to me, the AEW's return, I think, hit me harder than this WWE return. Well, I don't want to say return. The in-ring first ring speech. I'm particularly talking about the AEW's. To me was better.
See, this one, I like, number one, I just think it's a time thing. There's a difference between me saying something for 6 minutes versus me saying something for
sure
whatever unlimited. AEW probably gave him they started with it, so they're like, yo, as long as you want to go, say whatever you got to say, and that's on the front end of a show. So versus this is and Punk's cognizant of, I got this amount of time left. I think just this one, he wanted to get out whatever his most sincere things that he wanted to say about WWE and whatever he was feeling about coming back. I think he used that promo. Let me just get this out, because he's going to come back and have some. He's going to have some shit to say.
For sure.
But I felt like hey, first and foremost, this is what I want to get out in my little 6 minutes.
I think I would have rather waited, not have him on Raw, until we could have got him a good 10 to 20 minute segment and let him rock out.
I would have waited a week. Honestly.
I would have waited. Let the anticipation build up.
I would have waited a week.
Nah, I think they were just striking the iron when it was hot.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
it was a lackluster. I felt underwhelmed at the end of the show.
He was the most dominant figure of conversation, not necessarily saying it.
Yeah, for sure.
He's just off subject.
The momentum would have been there tomorrow as well.
He's a very, very, very polarizing character in wrestling. I will say that much.
Probably the most polarizing right now.
I'm not necessarily saying he's not a good wrestler. I mean, he's subpar. I mean, I should say he's subpar. But I've just seen some guys better in the ring than him. But he knows how to draw emotion in his feuds or when he's on that microphone. Because at the end of the day, you have to talk people into that building. He is very good at that. His matches are okay. I mean, it's depending on who he's in there with.
But you know what's crazy? Think about any wrestler that was at the very top and throughout history. When has that wrestler that's been the top of the industry ever been the best wrestler ever? Hulk Hogan never was the best wrestler. Ric Flair never was the best wrestler. Mm-hmm. Bruno Sammartino wasn't the best wrestler. And when you just think about John Cena, not the best wrestler. The Rock, as great as he is,
he was probably
never the best wrestler.
To me, out of the mouthpieces,
Stone Cold definitely.
Out of the people that had the on mic skills with the wrestling, I'd probably say Rock is probably up there as far as the closest you'll get. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't see many athletic ability. You know who's going to be. I already know who's going to be.
Whoa.
My man across the pond.
Osprey. He in the wrong company.
Yeah.
He in the wrong company.
And that is to me his I want to say his downfall is I don't know how great of a on mic development he'll get at AEW. I know his matches, they're going to be matching. They're going to be out there flipping. They're going to do everything in AEW. And it almost borderline like, damn, he probably shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
But
you know it's going to happen.
It got to come down to get him some good matchups, though. Mm-hmm. Like, I need to see him against Swerve Strickland. I'm pretty sure it'll be an MJF Osprey match.
And they've had a match before.
Yeah.
Him and Swerve.
They had some good ones.
You got Orange Cassidy. Well, he's been in there with him before.
But if Osprey can get to a level of He doesn't need to be top 5 ever. He just needs to be at a decent, to go back and forth against Mike the Miz. You'll be all right. Mm-hmm. He'll be all right. Like, what I feel like, what's the bald head black guy?
Oh, talking about what's his name?
About
Bobby?
No, who's been flipping?
You talking about
Ricochet?
Ricochet. I feel like he don't really talk that much, like on a mic. And so that is kind of part of his...
And that's for a reason.
Oh, God.
I
don't know, but...
Shout-outs to Ricochet.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Part of taking away from him is that he is known... You remember Ricochet because he flips. And he's going to do some jumping over the rope stuff, and that's what sells his character. But I don't think he'll ever be a WWE World Heavyweight Champion, WWE, whatever the Raw new one is, because of that. They're going to limit him to, all right, Intercontinental, maybe US at best.
He's the
tag team.
Top guy on the mid-card.
Right. And it's not until you get to be able to be comfortable on the mic and or have somebody save you, like
Smith Irvin.
Now,
shout out to her though, man.
Roman Reigns guy with Brock Lesnar, and Roman Reigns had a learning moment with John Cena, and Roman Reigns almost, I felt like, wouldn't have been to this point if it hadn't happened, that feud with John Cena. I think he came back. Do you remember that? John Cena ate him up years ago.
Oh yeah.
I remember
that made me start liking Cena again.
He ate him up.
On the mic, he was like, and then Roman started stuttering. He was like,
and that like, almost broke. To me, that almost would have been like, you know what? We might have to go look at somebody. Cena might have just killed them.
Remember when Cena was like, "Come on," he was like, "Come on, God, know how to cut a promo." Kid, I was like,
oh God,
he ate him up for 3 straight weeks.
And now what happened? We got.
He's gonna beat the orange juice out.
What's this guy's ACW guy name? Heyman. We got Heyman with Roman.
Yeah.
Just in case. Roman's been holding his own. I feel like he learned from that moment with Cena. Sometimes you got to go through the fire.
There. You gotta go through something.
But I feel like Ricochet wouldn't be able to even be in the realm of trying to say something bad. Now I don't know what that reason is. We'll talk about it later if it's something else fair. But yeah, I do hope Ospreay gets a chance to show his mic abilities, because I'm telling you, man, he got the potential, at least to me,
to be the draw,
to be top 5 of all time. So we'll see.
Got the skill set for it. So.
And just going back to Punk's promo, there were some things that I personally thought were interesting. The big one where everybody was saying when he came out and was like, "I'm home." That, might have been cathartic for him. Whatever. Because I don't know. I'll never fault a man for walking away from a job that's not doing you right. Let me be about to almost die on the job because of some negligence of the medical staff that you have on the job. I'm gonna have some choice words about that. But just him coming back and just being like, he's home. Like, and then there were things in the promo that I liked. He references Paul Heyman, a little Easter egg, because he says the part where he was like, a wise man told me, he said, I got to leave here to get everything I want when I come, or whatever, however he worded it, come back and get everything I want out of this place. And there were just some things that he said that were like, okay. And I really like how he ended the promo, turns to the camera and says, I'm here to make money, not friends. So that's like, to me, tells me like, yeah, I came out here, said this nice stuff, and I love being back. And we're all, we're going to have this kumbaya moment. But don't get it twisted. I changed, but I ain't changed all the way type,
Yeah.
But, it's going to... And it's just the first promo.
Yeah.
So he's going to have that heat for us.
He's going to be all right. At the end of the day, he back where he wanted to be. So,
like he said before, he said, I get the mic, you fire up those DVRs. So.
I just hope we get the WWF ice cream Bet.
Yo, they owe him them bars. they owe
all-
that
that's
man
all-
them bars.
That's all.
Them bars was
They
banging
owe that
back in the
man.
day.
They owe that
the
man a
best
bar.
ice cream ever.
Man.
Like it's definitely a top 3 in my book.
Man.
It may be 2 or 1. I can't say for certain without thinking back, but distinctly I remember. I can taste it still to this day. Those WWF.
Is that
ice
graham
cream bars.
cracker in the front?
Oh baby,
that
that
I thought
graham
it was
cracker.
Was it graham cracker? I thought it was like a cookie.
Whatever it was, it was like a cookie.
It was like a graham
Yeah.
cracker or something.
That cookie on one side,
Man.
the ice cream in the middle, and the chocolate. Oh, baby, you
I was-
that chocolate come through.
Man,
that ice cream
You
come
know what
through.
I was like happy and like sad at the same time is when you had like the popular figure. Because I remember I had an ice cream bar and it was the Ultimate Warrior. I was mad that I had to eat that whole thing.
They was good, man.
I tried to say that thing for like forever.
It was probably blowed up by the time I took it out of the wrapper.
Yep. Didn't.
But
R.I.P. Warrior.
yeah. Anything else?
And then the feuds. So you got everybody playing Booker and the questionable feuds that we've been hearing. The rumors. There's a rumor about Kevin Owens. There's the rumor about Stone Cold. And I like that though. Like just Punk being there opens a whole new avenue of other things that 2 months ago we weren't even thinking about. Like we weren't thinking about Punk versus Stone Cold in Philly. I personally don't want him to feud with
not at
Rollins.
WrestleMania.
I don't want him to feud with Rollins yet.
I feel like that. I feel like it is. I don't think you could get bigger for WrestleMania. Maybe Stone Cold, but
See, my only thing is
then he loses or when he beats Stone Cold, and it's not a good look for Stone Cold.
But the thing is, because they talked that was Stone Cold and him years ago was supposed to be possible.
Yeah, years ago.
But see, the thing is,
I don't want to see Austin in the ring.
With Rollins, if he faces Rollins, he taking that belt off of him.
And
Trust and believe
I
he's
can
taking
see
that belt
that.
off of him.
Okay.
But I don't want it to feel like, oh, I just came back. All of a sudden, I got a champion.
So maybe he doesn't fight
Maybe.
Rollins at WrestleMania.
I think what ended up gonna
But
happen.
there is a Rollins CM Punk match before there is a CM Punk Roman Reigns match.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you want to know what I think is going to actually happen? I'm going to call it now. Whenever Rollins, he's going to take that belt off of Rollins. I personally don't, even if it happens, I don't even see the Cody Roman Reigns match happening. But if it does, Cody's not taking the belt off of Roman Reigns. And I can see Punk takes that belt off of Rollins, holds it, and Mania next year. This one is
Champion
40.
versus champion?
Is this one 40?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, it's 40.
So Mania 41, CM Punk versus Roman Reigns,
Champion versus champion.
Like what bigger main event can you have?
That fight don't even need a belt, really. It don't need one. Because
I don't want Roman Reigns to get another belt.
No, that feud.
Oh,
honestly, that feud don't need a belt.
I don't think he goes over on Punk. Remember
They don't need
Roman,
a belt for that feud.
because the rumor.
But that was years ago.
People-
I think it's changing now.
People say you don't need the belt, but what's the bigger prize? Roman's undefeated dominance for all these years. Punk comes and collects another belt. There's no, like, I get it. It doesn't need a belt.
Nah,
But what's a bigger prize than I'm taking your belt and I'm taking, because remember, Roman's, the rumor is he's going to be retiring soon. You give Roman one more year. Like, and the way it's sounding, it's not going to be, oh, I'm retiring in 3-4 years. It's sounding like, oh, I'm retiring in the next 2 years. What's the biggest, yo?
Man, they don't need that belt.
Because when's the last time?
They got enough heat with them enough to sell that, period. I mean, the belt to me, it would just be whatever. That's just me.
But when is the last time we've had the two biggest belts versus each other? And any where it mattered the most? Like at a Mania.
Tyson Givens in court.
But like the last one that I could really think about at a WrestleMania, I got to go all the way back to my Hulk Hogan versus Ultimate Warrior, the heavyweight, the WWF title versus the Intercontinental winner takes all, where it felt like that big, like this is for all the chips.
Gunter winning the Royal Rumble.
I hope he wins.
He challenges. Do they have to go against Roman, or can he challenge Rollins?
I think he can challenge whoever he wants. He's got the choice.
Well, they got another problem.
I can
now.
see him taking it off.
They
of
still
Rollins.
got to put that. They still got to have Priest cash in on somebody. So.
I don't think he gonna win it. I think if anything, Priest might cash in. Yeah, I don't see it.
Yeah, they got.
But how many people straight have we had fail though? I feel like we got he's.
Well, I don't think they want
to successfully.
I don't think they want to like devalue his character with that though. So they got a problem right now. You're gonna have
If Gunter gets up off the Intercontinental, is that something for Priest to go after? Oh, Gunter is not here no more. I gotta go against him.
I don't think
I get to beat up Rey Mysterio for the Intercontinental, or Logan Paul for the Intercontinental.
Here man damn belt.
It may be an easier path. We'll see. I don't know.
It's interesting.
And then the other thing is, as good as Rollins is, and as over as he is, I feel like him with that title, he's just not. It may be no fault of his own, but it's not elevating. I'm still not looking at that title like, ooh, yeah, that's another. I feel like if Punk had that title, then it's like, oh shit.
You know why I feel like it's that way? Because
the way they made it.
That, but also he's limited into who he can challenge. Or I don't want to say challenge for it, but the people that's challenging him for it are those secondary characters.
Hey, bro,
right?
You just came off the street, bro. Now you gotta have
It's what's this Irish dude?
Sheamus.
No, sorry, he's not Irish. Scottish.
Oh, Drew McIntyre.
Drew. So it's these guys, right? It's not what we want to see is Cody. We want to see Roman. We want to see Rollins. We want to see sometimes Kevin Owens. We want to see the guys who we think can beat the top guys.
Go at it.
And don't get me wrong. I keep want to say Sheamus.
Drew McIntyre.
He's borderline that. He has never really convinced me saying I'm that guy.
And the crazy part was he beat fucking Brock Lesnar to win his title. That's the crazy. He beat Brock Lesnar to win his title, and then
but you don't sense that of him, right? You don't sense that of he can be like I know he won the title, but the time has changed for some reason where I can't see him as I'm the face of the company type deal anymore. I can't see it from him. And don't get me wrong, anybody can win it. Lashley could become a champion. It's just I put Lashley, I put Sheamus, I put him. God damn it, did it again. Him,
Drew McIntyre.
So
they're like
that's the thing.
They're like a second tier.
Exactly.
Like they're like a second
exactly.
tier. Like they're up there, but
1Bs or 2As
or
whatever you want to call them. They're just not that main caliber character. And to me, that's about 6 guys. And Jay is like sometimes up there, but not really.
He's getting there now.
It's weird for him, for me sometimes. I just can't.
I feel the same way about him.
Yeah.
Like you're not Roman. Like you're not Roman.
I almost want to call him a 2B, but sometimes he skips up to a 1B. It's real weird.
And the next week he slide back down to 2. Like, what was I thinking last week?
Because he's not really in the caliber with Drew and Bobby Lashley. And so he's like really right here, but then sometimes he skips them and comes up here and then goes right back down here for me.
Like just people that you feel that you can sell tickets on.
Correct.
Like they're going to put the butts in the seat.
Correct.
We can
and
have
now
them as the headline.
CM Punk, I feel, has been added to that top group, right?
Pushing some others trying to get up, back down.
Correct. Now, because of that, though, well, let's talk about before he even got there. We were talking about Rollins. The people that's challenging Rollins are all this group because they can't go to him right now.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody else who's trying to go to Rollins, that's up here, or everybody else up in that top tier group was trying to go after Roman.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's the rest of the lower tier groups going after Rollins. Mm-hmm. And that's what kind of makes his title lesser value because he's not getting the Codys to challenge him. He's not going to get, honestly, Brock Lesnar should have went after him, right? Why didn't Brock Lesnar? He can't challenge for the other championship no more, right? Yeah. He should have been going out whooping his ass every week. That would have made sense to me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and to me, that's what is devaluing his. So putting CM Punk in now you're looking at now we got another 1A that can challenge a 1A, and that's where the allure comes from, and that supposed beef that they got adds to it.
I'm pretty
We'll
sure
see.
they talked it over,
And I'm sure once CM Punk wins it, which I'm assuming he will, a lot of the rest of them 1As gonna start trickling over, challenging them. They wanted to save Rollins because they needed somebody to help carry this other championship, so we don't have to say Roman name every pay per view.
the Here Man Dan belt.
It's sad that we can't keep a straight face when we talk about that championship.
But once somebody else gets it, we're gonna get a bunch of 1As and 1Bs going after it.
With a straight face. Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Oh, I know this wasn't on the thing, but Daniel Bryan.
I was getting ready to get to that.
Or what, his match?
No. You didn't hear?
Yeah. And there was, I remember this, I have to find where I read this at, though. When that whole thing went down with CM Punk being fired, there was somebody that said something about there was a committee who voted. And I remember Matt Hardy's name coming up. I don't remember Bryan Danielson at the time, but now it's been revealed that he was a part of it. But I know Matt Hardy was in that group.
Oh, he.
Well, they're saying supposedly it was Daniel Bryan and 2 lawyers.
I know it was more. It was more than that. I'm almost positive it was Matt Hardy, Daniel Bryanson, and maybe 1 or 2 other people and lawyers.
But me and Brian were talking about it the other day, and Brian loves Bryan Danielson, all his iterations, and then he was just like, I ain't gonna speak for him, but I feel like he kind of took it like, damn. I personally don't feel like talent should be
have a say so.
That's powerful.
No, you were the boss
to decide for other talent. Like that would be me being at my job, quote unquote. I'm a teacher. I got the power to fire other teachers, but we're on the same level. I'm another teacher.
It's a committee, right? And so they probably came to a vote as to what the everybody thought was best for the company, right?
To me, it looked like he was a scapegoat.
But this is what I told DeBron the other day. Now, when you came out and gave that statement about firing Punk, Tony, you distinctly said,
right,
I made the decision on my own myself. That was all my decision. So even if Daniel Bryan and you had a committee and whoever did, stick to that,
right,
and protect them, because now
so
all of a
I
sudden,
don't know how this came out.
Now all of a sudden, Punk's in WWE, and now
apparently somebody tweeted
it
something.
Wasn't really me. It was Daniel Bryan. Like,
well,
now,
on record,
now it looks crazy.
On record, he said it was ultimately his decision, and so Tony Khan has to live with this at the end of the day. Nobody else has to live with any of these decisions about AEW other than Tony Khan. If he is the I don't want to say his exact thing wrong, but let's just say he's the CEO of AEW. And he has all those, what are they, executive VPs
EVPs.
or EVPs? But he's the overarching CEO of that company.
He's making the business call.
It was his decision to make those wrestlers EVPs. It was his ultimate decision to fire talent, i.e. CM Punk. It was his decision to allow certain scenarios to take place. Why would you know that Jack Perry and him aren't on the best of terms right now, have their matches right back to back, where they can interface with, run into each other?
That was the dumbest thing right there.
Right? So it ain't just, all right, we voted and I'm agree with just because you guys voted. If it fails, it's him that fails. Mm-hmm. These wrestlers can go to another promotion at the end of the day. They can go back to wherever they came from or try to go somewhere new at the end of the day. But if his promotion fails, he can't just say, oh, you know what, I'm about to go to New Japan because he can't do that. So he needs to take accountability for his company. And however that looks going forward, I don't know. I don't know what type of arrangements he got with the Young Bucks and Kenny and whoever else.
To me, it seems like he wants to be their friend and not their boss.
Correct. And now your company is either going to make or break itself in the near future based off of these relationships. So again, I agree that he needs to hire somebody to manage. Let him be the business guy, but then we have a manager person who makes and handles these situations. Make sure these conflicts are resolved. And if they aren't resolved, we go about it in a professional manner, saying, "Hey, this is your first strike. This is how we're going to prevent this. Next time something like this happens, this is how we handle it." But if you're habitual
offender,
just smacking everybody every time you got it, then we have to address it. But you can't just also set people up. If y'all ask CM Punk to say something to Perry, and then Perry get mad, and then y'all see it's a scuffle happening, y'all didn't have to involve CM Punk at all.
Yeah.
So don't again. You get what I'm saying? Like you're not putting these scenarios correctly. And if Punk say something smart, hey, it is what it is. I mean, for one, CM Punk shouldn't have been the one to go to it. There should have been a manager whose job was saying, "This ain't happening. I don't care what you feel."
They said that's what happened.
So if you feel like you did, don't show up. Then we'll replace you on the card.
Yeah. I guess they didn't have enough because that's what they said happened. They said the producers talked to him. Supposedly Tony Schiavone talked to him. And then when Jack Perry wasn't trying to listen to them, first of all, you the producer of the show. So I'm here telling you.
Then don't come.
So that I guess they were on some stuff like, yo, have Punk talk to him. They might have a rapport. I don't know. It's Punk's show. Go have him talk to him. And then Jack Perry just ain't give a damn about nobody.
See, to me, the whole big thing was giving them another show and just having them stand away from each other. Just to kind of just like was the worst thing they did. They needed.
I don't think so.
It's good for them guys that it's another show, but it was bad.
Good for the time being. It was good until men's could have been repaired.
Yep.
And you still had somebody that can sell tickets. So you can't just have them shelved because you were afraid of personality conflicts weak. So it made sense to make a separate show.
This is where he needed to be the boss and basically put his foot down. This is why I'm not saying that Vince McMahon is not like the perfect guy.
But he realized.
But he came down and that man took some punches and he took some crap from some of them guys. But you know what? At the end of the day, he said, "This is my decision."
And it's his show.
Uh-huh.
And Vince McMahon stood on his show. And he said, "Ain't nobody going to bully me on my show." And you know what? You think it's going to go one way? Then look at what happened with Bret Hart.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
I said we're going to do it this way. And all right, you don't got to know about it, but the rest of us, y'all going to do what I say. He don't got to know.
And took the punch.
And he took the punch for it, but he did it his way.
Yep.
And I think that Collision was a good thing because it was people that when was the last time we saw Andrade? When was the last time we saw Miro?
Their roster was a
and it was like Punk handpicked people that they'll be good for the show and they don't get on TV. So it was a good thing at the time.
Yeah.
You just let
you
just let a beat.
The difference between Collision and when he was on there and excuse me, when he's not there now.
You let a B plus at best player get rid of your biggest cash cow in the company. That's just what happened. Yeah. You lost your cash cow over a B plus at best player.
Yeah.
He not even second tier.
Sure.
Jungle Boy was like third tier. Yeah. Like what was he? What is he?
I would put
He's
him.
probably the devil. Nobody's gonna care. He's gonna take the mask off and nobody's gonna care.
He is.
Nobody's
it's either him or it's Adam Cole.
They might start chanting CM Punk when he takes the mask
It's Adam
off.
Cole or
maybe
Jack Perry.
MJF himself. Man, who the
it's
hell?
not MJF. It's Jack Perry or Adam Cole. I think it'd be good if it's Adam Cole actually.
Yeah,
but
it's just
yeah.
I mean, to me,
it's all over the damn place.
The whole and going back to Dan Bryan because that's where we started at. This made me look kind of funny at him because you have a rapport with this guy, and at the end of the day,
again,
I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna recuse myself from making. I was like, I have a personal relationship with this person. I'm not gonna make a decision in this, you guys. But I think it was kind of convenient that all of a sudden now Dan Bryan's name's being named after all. This was months ago. This was end of summer. Mm-hmm. Now all of a sudden Punk debuts in WWE, and there is a backlash in AEW, and now it's looking crazy on your end. And now I wouldn't be surprised if it was some shit that that Tony let go himself. Like, yo, yeah, so Dan Bryan was on the thing because he don't want to take the whole brunt. I saw somebody, the whole brunt of what's going on now.
Yeah.
Because this is adverse for your company. Like, however you want to spin it, Punk going to WWE is not a positive for AEW in any shape, form, or fashion.
Past past couple of months late.
And then because those collision numbers have been nosediving.
Yeah.
And on top of that, what was I gonna say?
They let Punk go, they let Jade go, and they let Cody go. That's 3 of your big names right there gone.
Yeah.
And they got no return in value in it right now. So
I feel like it's Tony passing the buck off. I think he might.
Nah, he is. I mean, he set Daniel Bryan to be a scapegoat for this stuff.
But yeah, we'll see what happens with it.
And Daniel Bryan put that tweet out.
I think
sometimes doing the right thing won't make you money. Sure not. Yeah. It sure didn't.
Yeah, it's something that everybody got to live with, and what happened, and we're here today, and so really it just comes down to both companies putting out their best product, and that's what people want. We just want to see good wrestling. We want to see options. We want to see good storylines.
I did see before you go on, I did see somebody comment. It was a post, and they said that Tony Khan has indeed earned the title of best Booker of the Year. That man booked CM Punk. Who else could have booked CM Punk to return to the WWE? Like, Booker of the Year. Cheers to Tony. We appreciate you, Tony.
But all right, let's transition out of
your boys are losing tomorrow night. By the way,
transition out of wrestling. We had a movie release this week, right? Came out early Wednesday.
Yeah,
Wednesday. I'll let you guys talk about it. You guys are the bigger fans of the series, and it's Godzilla -1.
Yep.
Okay, and that is the Japanese production
Toho
version of Godzilla, not to be confused with the legendary production movies, which are the American-made ones that's in recent years have been out.
First one that they've done since 2015 or 16.
Is that Shin?
I think it was Shin. Me either. I didn't like it.
So, thoughts on this movie?
Jules, you go first.
Ooh, all right, let's see. -1. As anybody, well, y'all know I'm a huge fan of Godzilla, and it's one of my childhood heroes growing up. I actually had the character tatted on my arm. That's how much in love I was growing up watching Godzilla movies. Outside of the 1954 version, that's the one that I watched first. That's the one that made me fall in love with the character. That was like the best monster movie I watched growing up. Until we watched this one. And this is like one of them rare movies where this one may have outdid the original as far as a story. Because the story was strong enough where even if Godzilla wasn't in it, the movie would have been probably just as good.
Yeah.
But the parts that Godzilla was in it, he delivered for me. Could he have been a little bit more? Could have, but how they used him in this, it was perfect. I mean, it was a damn good movie. I wouldn't be surprised if low-key if it could get an Oscar nomination for it, because the acting in it was that good and the story was very, very strong.
Okay.
So,
Jace,
I absolutely loved it. I've seen it twice already. I saw it the night because we initially saw the Riverfront did IMAX one night early view, whatever they called it, but it was Wednesday. The movie, which I don't even understand how they say movies drop on Fridays when they really drop on the Thursday. Like, they give you a date, they really drop the day before that. So that's weird.
They're counting the ticket sales just for Friday and Saturday.
But we saw it on Wednesday, it was in IMAX because initially we were just gonna wait for Brian because he had a table reading or whatever he was doing, and then he couldn't go till Thursday. So I'm like, I think I really got to see it. I really got to see it. I said I'll go see it Thursday too with Brian, but I'll go see it. So we ended up seeing it on IMAX. After the first time I watched it, I was like, I think this is the best Toho. To me, I was like, hands down, is the best Toho Godzilla to me. Godzilla movie from Toho. After I watched it the second time, I might say it's just the best Godzilla movie, period. Legendary included. And my favorite, like up until this point, is probably that first Legendary Godzilla movie. That's my favorite. Like the first one where he's fighting the Mutos. So that's what was that, 2014, I want to say?
Yeah, 14.
I thought you liked the Godzilla 2000.
Godzilla 2000 was
was
cool.
good.
It was cool. No, you're not talking about Puffy one, are you?
No.
Are you talking about 2000? We went and saw Godzilla 2000 when they did a limited.
It was
The one with
it was at a Phantom event.
what was the name? Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
You talking about Broderick? No, that's
hell no.
that's 98. That one came out in 98.
What was that called?
Godzilla.
That was so.
Was it called Godzilla?
Yeah, Godzilla 2000 is a different movie. Godzilla 2000 was made after they effed up everything with that one. Toho turned around and made one in 2000.
That's what I was referring
jumped on
to.
that
I
immediately.
don't acknowledge that as a Godzilla movie.
That was
anymore.
terrible.
That's why I said with Puffy. He in the video.
no.
Remember Walk With Me?
No.
Remember? He was in the video. I don't even recognize that one.
And we know what we know now. Godzilla should have stomped on his ass in that movie.
Godzilla going to be in the Surviving Diddy. But yeah, we actually did see Godzilla 2000, which I had never watched before till last month, which was actually pretty good. Or was the beginning? Yeah, last month. But this one, never have I cared about the people in a Godzilla movie. I've never cared about the people. Even the one with Mothra and the two little twin girls. I wanted them to get eaten every time. They come on, they do their little singing thing.
Yeah, they were doing.
Screw them. I've never cared about any human characters in the Godzilla movie until now. Like the story, it was perfect. Like very few movies that I would call perfect, where I would not change anything about the movie. Like, and then the fact that I usually don't like subtitles. I don't like reading them.
It didn't take away from
it. Makes me, but I feel like this needed the subtitles because I would have hated to hear
the voiceovers
and some of the dumbass stuff that they'll add for the American audience in the voiceovers. Like this one, it was dark, looked great, the sets were great. Only $15 million to make. I say $15 million as a.
How was the Godzilla? Was he CGI?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's literally the only thing. He wasn't as clean as Legendary Godzilla.
Yeah.
But it almost felt like they purposely, well, first of all, it was only 15 million, so they were on budget.
Right.
And you could see, but it almost, some parts almost looked as if they were trying to go for the man in the suit effect. Mm-hmm. But he looked great. Like he looked terrifying. Like it wasn't even, oh, he looks cool. No, he looked scary. And and Jules said he could have been in there. I thought he was in there for the perfect amount of time. He had 4 major scenes. He was in 4 major scenes, and that was plenty enough of him. It was plenty enough. And when he was in a scene, it meant something. Every time it was no throwaways. Oh, he just happened to be. No, every single scene that he was in had an impact on that movie in a very
even the battle sequences was pretty good though.
Very intense. Every scene he was in was intense. Like this Godzilla was scary, and he embodied what the original vision of what Godzilla's about, like the nuclear war,
right,
and the cautionary tale of nuclear war, and that's what he was in this. So, and just the human story. Like I never would have thought I'd watch a Godzilla movie and be so invested in the people and their story. Like it got to the point where I didn't want Godzilla killing everyone. Like, yo, easy. easy, big guy. Guy used to just be all for the destruction, and like this one, you're emotionally attached to these people, and you're like, no. And there's some parts you're like, I don't even want to spoil anything, but
he was a force of nature.
Just the story. Like I'm still trying to process how good it. Like I'm still sitting here like, there's no way I had these feelings during this movie. I'm rooting for the people. I've never rooted for the people against Godzilla. Yeah. I'm rooting, I just want them to be okay. And it's just the story is great. And there was like some very relatable things going on in the movie for a lot of people. Okay. And it's
definitely a must-see.
I was watching a review earlier and they were talking about the Godzilla movie. And he was saying that like sometimes you watch a superhero film and then you're like, oh yeah, it's a good superhero film. But then sometimes you watch a superhero film and you're just like, beyond a superhero film, that's just a great movie. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, even if you're not into superhero movies, that's a great movie. That's how I feel about this one.
It had a Jaws effects to it, though, the way how they was using them, though.
Like, I've already seen it twice, and I'm already can't wait to go see it again. Like, it was...
Okay.
It's gonna give Barbie a run for its money.
So speaking of, we're in December. We're coming toward the end of the year. So at some point, one of these weeks, we'll have to bring up top movies of the year. And it may be difficult with the rankings, but I prefer to have some sort of ranking.
I'm doing tiers.
Sure. But for the rest of us, we'll try to do some rankings. With that being said, Godzilla.
They've been using this character off.
So let's just go with this, and I'll give you guys a second. How would you rate it 1 through 10? And if you need a second, you can take a second to give it a thought.
10, easily. 10 easily.
So now that you guys saying that it's 10, ranking of Godzilla now is what? Above Barbie for you, Jason?
Yeah, because I think I gave Barbie 9.5?
I think you gave it a 9 something.
Yeah, it's a...
So above Barbie. So number one movie. I don't recall you guys saying a 10. I don't remember any.
I haven't.
Well, my upper echelon has been what I've had in that top tier has been Guardians 3, which gun in my head I might have said that was between Guardians 3, Spider-Man, and Transformers were all my top 3 in that tier. And then Barbie came up, obviously, for obvious reasons. I've seen it 7 times. But I have no problem. Like, I think Godzilla just blew right through. That's why I'm going to have to go into a tier. Okay. But it's going to be those movies in my top tier.
And you saying 10 as well?
I'm giving it a 10. I've never gave nothing on here a 10.
So that I'm expecting that to be your number one movie in this ranking.
I'm pretty sure this
I'll
probably
give you a chance.
No,
not today. No. I'm just saying we'll give it a chance to think about it. It's still fresh. But one of these weekends though, we are going to do a ranking. But as of right now, Julian, what I'm hearing, number one is Godzilla.
It knocks my number one this year was Spider-Verse. This knocked it off.
Okay.
And spoiler alert, Brian may have turned to me and said, this might be the best movie I've seen this year.
Okay.
Not going. But
I mean, it's one of them films. Honestly, you're coming in expecting just to see a monster just rampaging and going into the ocean, and it was over that. Like Jason said, it was a very, very, very relatable, deep story. I'll tell you off air like a synopsis of it, but it was a real.
Was it a limited run?
No, it's
still in theaters.
It's got a bunch more.
Okay.
I think just because it was.
I want Tavon to see it, and then we have.
I'm not opposed to watching it.
Yeah.
I haven't watched the Japan ones in quite a while, and honestly, I couldn't even tell you which one it was when I did watch it. But I'm not opposed to watching it. Yeah. I'll give it a shot.
And if you do it soon, let me know because
I'll go.
I'm already locked and loaded. Brian said he's going to need to watch it this next time by himself for various reasons.
There are some other movies I need to check out before the end of the year just to make sure. I never got around to watching Oppenheimer. It's just a long movie.
I didn't either.
And I just didn't feel like it.
Yeah.
So at some point, I am going to try to watch it. And then I'll try to squeeze this in as well. And that way I could try to give a fair end of the year ranking.
Yeah, it's.
We'll have to do it after Christmas, so.
It's going to be tight.
But Aquaman 2's coming.
Oh, yeah.
So that's going to be the last.
Yeah.
Not that I'm expecting it to run up to the top, but I want to give it a fair shake. You know?
All right. Well, we're well over an hour, but go ahead.
Trailer. We doing all this Godzilla.
Yeah.
We doing all this Godzilla talk. We didn't talk about them finally dropping the
So
Godzilla
sure,
Kong.
let's listen it with that.
Godzilla Kong trailer finally hit today.
Yeah.
It's not versus Kong this time. It's teaming up.
A sequel
They're friends.
to the original, to that Godzilla Kong movie that happened a few years ago. Some of the little girl's still there. The black guy is still there.
Yeah.
Brian, Davey, Henry,
Tyree.
He just got a bunch of first names. What is his name? Brian
Tyree Henry.
Something like that, right?
Yeah, that's what it is. Brian
Okay.
Tyree
Yeah,
Henry.
he got three first names.
Yeah.
BTH.
But should be good. I enjoyed the first one. So I am more of a Kong fan than I am a Godzilla fan. So
This one's gonna be Kong.
I think
heavy.
this one is more Kong fan.
This one's for you.
Yeah.
Last one,
he lost.
last
he
one
lost
was for
the
us.
first one.
Last one was for
So
us.
they
This
can't
one's
have
for
him
you.
lose.
Yeah.
They can't have him look weak in the second one.
Yeah, they like
make him look strong.
He was like, "Yeah, we gonna help him out."
good
It's gonna
though,
be-
man.
They say it's not gonna be as much Godzilla as it was last time.
But he's getting the top billing just because of its marketability purposes. So they said he's not in it long, from what I understand. But
It's all good.
Yeah.
I'm cool.
He got a lot. There's a lot in the Godzilla world out. So.
Because Skull Island, I love Skull Island. That's a great.
Yeah. I don't know. Just for some reason, I don't know what it is. Maybe because I felt he was like the underdog, and
Who?
Kong,
Oh yeah.
and
Skull Island was a damn good movie.
I'm talking about just in terms of them versus each other.
Yeah.
I see it as Godzilla is more Superman and Batman is King Kong. And he's not as powered as Godzilla is, but he'll put up a fight, and that's what I saw it as. And,
But Batman would have more of a fight to put up to Superman. Kong.
with
Kong
tools,
Kong
with
was
tools.
getting that ass whooped.
No, he gave it to him.
ass whipped.
He gave it to him. But once Godzilla started doing that breath shit, it was a wrap. He started doing that. Nah, Kong gave it to him. Kong needed that stick. He needed but
It was a good fight.
It's just like
He knocked him
it's
off the
just
boat.
like Batman versus Superman. If Batman didn't have a kryptonite or any of them tools at his disposal, it'd be a long day for Batman.
But Batman won that fight. Kong didn't. Batman won the fight in Batman versus Superman.
Batman if he didn't have access to what he had access.
Damn, he whooped the shit out of Kong.
It wasn't that bad. It was a good fight. What happened?
He stepped on his chest and was like, "Yo, just stay down, bro." Like,
but all right, rewatch the fight. He put up a good fight.
He did.
Somebody of his size versus that big ass.
Kong put up a good fight.
He put up a good fight.
He did.
I'm a Godzilla.
He didn't get mollywopped.
Yeah, he
Godzilla
did.
heavy.
I mean,
He just didn't get rolled over. He put up a good
I
fight.
thought my favorite fight was
He put up a good fight.
He did. I mean,
And he could have let him stay there. He's like, you know
but he
what?
didn't.
That's what your ass get. Take that ass whooping. He could have left him.
But
he
he
could have
didn't.
left him. Because what happened? Godzilla was getting that ass whooped.
he got pissed off.
And
That was it.
he could have left him. But he came and helped him. Didn't he?
Kong was out there looking like the Eagles today.
Man, stop that shit. man.
Kong came back and saved him, didn't he? Against that dinosaur, robot.
Mecha Godzilla.
Yeah,
because he knew
that-
he was next.
No, he was whooping Godzilla's ass.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm talking about Kong knew he was next. What you think was gonna happen to him
They
after
was
Mecha
coming after
Godzilla
Kong.
killed Godzilla?
They was going after Godzilla.
still-
They didn't care about Kong. They was going after
He said,
Godzilla.
"Let the ape go." He going back into under the earth.
If we could beat Godzilla, we could beat him. So as long as we get him out the way, we good. That's what they thought.
I mean, but Kong taking that thing's head off.
He came back and said, "All right, I got."
That was like one of the best like head rips I've seen in a movie.
Kong, my dude, man.
Kong,
Yeah, no, I like Kong. I like Kong.
him, and
I just don't like him as much as guys. I like King Kong though. I've always been a King Kong fan. That got me into Mighty Joe Young. I started watching Mighty Joe Young just because of King Kong.
Kong still be alive if you leave that woman alone though.
See,
White women.
I didn't want to say
the
that.
blonde, but yeah,
Kong like blonde.
But the one thing I kind of feel like -1 kind of took the wind out of the sails for Kong Godzilla. Like, not that it's not going to be good, but
Yeah.
it's got a tall order to follow.
In terms of a overall story, I think just especially here in America, where I would be, my guess is that Legendary's movie is going to do better in numbers because it's an American movie. It's going to be marketed towards American,
And it's a rarity that they signed off on.
and it has two big kaijus in it.
Let's see,
where that -1 is imported. It's, if you're a fan of that series, it wasn't really marketed for us,
And for it to do number 3, and it didn't even have a television commercial on it.
Right,
Everything
right. It wasn't
that
marketed.
just shows you the strength and popularity of him. Because for that thing to come in number 3 in a U.S. market, and they pretty much promoted this movie on the internet. So,
and then because the way I was initially looking at it when it was all going down, I was like, all right, cool, we're gonna get -1. Is going to hold us over until we get to Kong Godzilla Kong. And it was kind of like -1. I initially felt like -1 was just going to be the appetizer. And Godzilla Kong was going to be the entree, the main meal, the coup de grace, the course.
that ain't happening.
Now it's just dessert.
I done got full off of -1.
It's
I'm
dessert.
full. I'm full right
This
now.
one looked like it's just going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Dessert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want it, if you don't, you already ate.
I'm a meat and potatoes guy, so you know.
All right. Well, let's wrap it up. We a little over today. It wasn't supposed to be this long. Anything else you guys want to go back on before we call it a day?
Nope, I'm good.
All right. Episode 57, ladies and gentlemen.
57.
The Watchers Podcast. Matter of fact, you got to pick up on that German. Ain't you from? Or are you born there?
I was born in Germany.
You better start doing that.
Yeah, I'm gonna start. What's the one they're doing now? Not Rosetta Stone. What's the other one? Babel. Oh, you know, it was crazy because went into a liquor store a couple weeks ago. Quick story. Went to a liquor store a couple weeks ago. Like, paying for my stuff. That's dude how he was doing. You know, he's like, I'm just sitting here trying to learn the Spanish, and he was using Babel. He said he already knew Spanish, but he's trying to pick it up a little more, or something about his in-laws, his girlfriend or wife or whatever in-laws were of a Latino heritage, and he wanted to know what was all being said.
Yeah, he ain't want to know they cussing him out, laughing in his face.
So he
I've been there.
He was picking up, but yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna get on some Babel.
Watchers Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. WATCHERZ. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts.
Hardy R.
I am Tavon, Tri-State _tip on Instagram.
Tiger Helly 19 on the Snapchats and IGZs. Facebook by way of the government. J.C. Williams. Follow the Stripes.
Smitty Green Giant on Instagram.
Formerly known as the Damager.
Yep.
Well, until next time, ladies and gentlemen, peace.
Guten Tag.